Yeah. Uh, just look like some of my work. My work. Maybe y'all get on. You pretty much keep this with me about all the time. This is what they call royal, or even silver sugar. Sometimes it just, certain light just look gray, like silver tint. Like even me just looking at it from some of these lights, sometimes it looks silver. These are the best grades to get at this. And you can kind of tell the difference between this and coal too. You know, coal doesn't give this kind of sheen, but it puts out that positive energy. Not sure where I got this piece of Motivite. One of my older pieces though. Used to be on the I used to have this one on the my Virgia, my brass Virgia. So I had this on that. So I wanted to show that, show them. And of course, the wisdom stone of Shawright. So I guess I should start and introduce who I am. Just guess that's the way to do it. Since all my sounds and stuff don't have all that with me, so I'll just start with the basic wrap of who I am and what this show is and what I am. So this is Big Pontiac. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game created by the Hero Twins, and I am also that galactic daddy-o, welcoming all the chocolate mountaineers, new and old, to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to far as you can imagine it can go, and to finally get to drink my beer. Been saving it for 3,000 years. Moose Lakes from Minnesota Brewery, Red Axe Irish Ale. So pop them if you got them. I'm fancy on you tonight. So pop them if you got them. Tonight, I am still taking these sour peach extract. Not bad. I'll still keep getting these. You gotta take them a little more often, but they still get you mellow as you want to be. So smoke them if you want them. For sure. Crazy Sarge, what's happening? You see how bogus they did my brother? Took off his channel. He wasn't really saying nothing challenging to them. Hey, what's happening, PJ? Yeah, I mean, what are the words anymore? I mean, we don't really know what are the words, you know, that can take so much information away. I mean, I agree, it's their business, no doubt. It's their business. Like I said, you know, with my other channel, the problem is if you're saying the businesses ran this way, there was no warning before removing the information. In the process, you present a process, and you constantly renew and update your process. So I don't know. At times it seems hypocritical. And, and a lot of times we don't really know. I mean, we really, really just don't know. Because we see some of this stuff brought up time and time again, and people have not been looked upon for releasing some of the same information. It was some other. Oh, I know what I want to talk about, man. I'm sorry, I'm being inconsistent, not coming on every day, but this is one thing I want to say. Um, I went to see Nope last night, and it was interesting. And you know, I look for these kind of things. It was funny. He only said Nope one time in the movie. One instance, he only said it one time. But it was like the main. What was funny was as I said, the parodying words. The first parodying word you pick up when you watch that movie is "Are you good?" They say it several times unnecessarily. I mean, I don't know. It was just like, but you know what they only said one time. They only say at the end of the day one time. And you know, I pick up on that kind of thing. So that shows me that is not the rhythm. They're not pushing that. They had it in there, but they only had it in there one time, and I bet I'm the only one that ever noticed that they only used it once. It's in there, but it's only in there once, so it's not part of their repetition. But "Are you good?" seemed to be something that you know they were using over and over again. But I'll say this: hey Nicole, how you doing? I'll say this about the movie. Um, I was glad I went to see the movie. Absolutely, I was really glad I went to see the movie. It was by far his best work. I mean, with more money, you see really what he could do. Um, the screenplay as a movie was outstanding. One of the best. I would put that screenplay up with any screenplay in history of movies, damn near. Now, the screenplay ain't the story. But I'll say this: I hate slow. And I went in there. Now you know me. I had like taken like probably anyway. I had some of those and went in the movie, and I'm pretty funky. Ordered me a what do they call this? Taco Supreme, you know, Nacho Supreme. Man, don't you know? Like it took a minute for me to get it. By the time the movie hadn't even started when they brought it. When they brought it, it was a masterpiece of something you'd get from a restaurant. When I opened it up, the box lit up and lit up the area around me. I was like, whoa. But anyway, I'm getting away from the movie, but it was excellent. And the beer, oh my goodness, whatever, stout. Oh, I was in that motherfucker, leaned and drank. Oh, but anyway, the movie engaged me in every shot. I hate movies. I hate movies. That's the thing I tell Super Sly. I hate movies. I hate watching movies. If they're slow, if they're stupid, I don't like. I get very quickly. I lose interest. It was a movie for a change that, despite me, you know, slumping because I'm super, you know, I'm super blowed up in there, engaged me the whole time. Now the story, and I'm not going to spoil it, but the story, they complete one story, and they show the whole background, and I think even my friends missed the point, because what to me the story is about this land, and the story is about kind of where two people came to the point of this, to acquire this land. Now, one thing a lot of people, and they don't give this credit, but I'm pretty sure this is, I'm going to say fact. Far as me studying sports, and this is not even a great study, but I'm pretty sure what I'm about to say is right. What they show is, and they claim that they're related to this guy who trained horses, but the dude in the first motion picture, I'm pretty sure won several of the first Kentucky Derby winners too. I'm pretty sure that's him too. Yeah, he's probably, I guess that would be the first action shot. Yeah. So again, those of you that want to look this up, I'm pretty sure that's him as well. He won Kentucky Derbies when they filmed that of him. So, but I thought it was
I'll read this. I was really sad at first when Bill Russell died. Then I realized that dude was almost 90. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So even, even any kind of ritual they're using, what are they using? What is the energy from? What are they? And it's an odd time of year. And sometimes maybe, his humiliation was enough. So sometimes they just check out. I'm sure the numbers people that have a little more to say about that. Hey D, how you doing? So, uh, but the movie was very well shot. Each shot was engaging. I mean, beautifully shot. Going from one shot to the next, explaining. Very well done. I don't know if you guys love movies like that, but I do. I love that kind of stuff. Story left some questions, no doubt. Did they complete stories? Kind of. They did. One part of the story they definitely completed. The other part, there's a lot of questions. Uh, I even want to say this, not really spoiling it, but the main kind of thing you see that's supernatural. As soon as I saw it, I never got to see the trailer for it before, but um, we looked at the trailer, and then in the trailer they show the being in the trailer. So we looked at that, and I saw the being in the trailer. I was like, okay, that's what Carl Sagan described. Um, when he described gas beings being on another planet. There's types of pictures of these things for those of you that have Cosmos magazine. There seems to be two paintings or drawings of these type of beings that you could see. Those of you that still have the Cosmos magazine or book of Carl Sagan's, but they don't explain where it came from. It's tied to that land. Why now? Uh, So, but very well done. The brother deserved the money. Very well done. Young Weezer, really never, really never. Though most of the people watching me understand that conspiracy theorist was created by the CIA to counteract people who didn't agree with the Kennedy assassination. But it was a spell that was created to, mean anything that goes against the norm. I mean, directly, yes, it's the strongest spell is anything that goes against the government, but it's also, what do they call it? No ray, the norm, the normal. So it's also that too. So that's really how it's applied now to anybody that has any kind of different approach to reality. Awareness, really, more awareness than reality. Yeah, more awareness. So, not very often. I'll say what comes up though. I'll tell you this: what comes up is in conversation. Where people describe themselves, and I can say, maybe even influence, but it's well, people will come in conversation and say, well, people consider me a conspiracy theorist. See, they don't really have the other words to bring in there to say that they speak. What they're speaking is kind of what they're speaking is kind of against what's normal. Yeah, just wasn't enough thought into that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Little off tonight, guys. Sorry about that. But it's okay. I'm going to have fun with it. But that's also not very often. What's amazing. You know what's amazing? Fresh homemade pasta and sauces. Do you make your own spaghetti, buddy? Do you make your own spaghetti? That would be good. And today I get today I got a free four-wheeler Honda. Oh wow. We were just talking about going into the city and renting electric bikes. Uh, yeah, electric bikes next weekend. Get the bikes from outside the city and zoom through the city. You know.
There's a lot to do here. Shit, we could get the bikes and we'll keep the bikes all day and take the bikes. Shit, I didn't even think about that. We could take the bikes to the football game. My daughter went to the big country concert. Kenny Chesney. My daughter went to see Kenny Chesney yesterday, and they said that his sound was horrible. They said they didn't adjust the sound the whole thing. Said you couldn't hear him. They said his whole set was his sound was off. So I don't know how that happens. How do you continuously let your sound be off? But that's what she said. She said his whole set. Sets generally with a headliner 45 minutes to an hour, 50 minutes sometimes. But she said the whole time, she said the other two people, but they never was able to fix their sound, which is odd for that place, because that place has some of the best sound out. When they play music in that place, when that place is packed and everybody scold, they beat the shit. That place holds some nice acoustics, so not sure how you fuck that place up. But that was my daughter's mother gift to her. My daughter said she wasn't gonna go at first. She wasn't gonna go. Because I picked her up. I picked her up in my friend's car, and my friend has a BMW, and she's like, "This is not your car." Like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? This is not your car. I'm like, well, we have some options here. Option A is put the stuff in the trunk and get in the car. Option B is I'm going to throw you in the car and lock you in the car. And you're going to go in the car regardless. So she took option A. She just got in the car. Like, this is not your car. Like, okay. Get over yourself. Oh my goodness. I actually think most of what people call conspiracies are true, and I don't doubt that sports are fixed. I just choose not to believe it. I would prefer not to believe it. That's good. If you don't, this is the thing, and if you see you can stay on the outside by feeling that way, that's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of people say, what was offered and what Cypher said, I think it's Cypher, wasn't it, that said, put me back in. I mean, if you see that you don't have to go out, it might be better for you not to go out. Now, I'll say that maybe, one for, you guys believe in free will, I'll say that. But I'll say this is where free will, again, doesn't apply. Once it comes off, there's no free willing, because you know that it's off. Now, if you're at the border, you can still turn it off or turn it on. And I think that's what you're at. And if you don't want to know, you can not know. Really everything like that will turn off for you. And you'll, go back to the, thinking like everybody else. And that's, but I'll say free will, that once it changes, I see no free will in that, because you can't change it back. And that should be free will. Because once you see it, you can't go back. Not once you really see everything. If you're saying you're seeing spots of it and you're kind of borderline, you can ignore it. You can really ignore it. As I said, I watched a generation of dudes my age, European dudes, and certain behaviors, certain relationships when they were young were really strong and beneficial to a lot of them. A lot of their success came with these kind of helps of communities coming together and helping each other, striving through sports in a lot of ways. But a lot of other ways, as things continue, that kind of helping and unity kind of went away. And that can, you can look directly at Reagan for that. We can see Reagan's influence on how that went away. Yes, I made pasta this weekend, going to make a bunch next weekend. Okay. Man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take a couple of different road trips. But yes, once I get all this equipment set up, I'm definitely making the road trip to Chicago before the weather breaks. Hopefully before football season starts. Right now, it's like kind of up in the air if we're going to season opener with the Packers. Think so right now. So we'll see. I'll probably come on if we do. So, but if not, I'll be part of a Super Bowl or watch party.
Look like we got a group of people that want to go from, watch, cook. That's what it's all about. Cook, watch the games, TVs in multiple rooms. So, everybody ain't just, everybody can stretch out in whatever room they want to watch the game in. Because, if I don't go to a live game, all I do is sit in bed all day and watch football. I have like a little fridge right next to the bed, Only time I get up is to go to the bathroom. Halftime, see my girl, might, halftime, you got a lot of time. Old man got a lot of time. So then get back. Football's from sun up to sundown. Your uncle was a Mason. Yeah, I think you mentioned that before, that you had his ring. It's like we never talked about it, and he never really brought it up. You have his ring. Wow. Now there you go. Hey, what's happening, Lorenzo? Thank you for joining. Man, young Weezer, you can get that ring made into anything. But if you're not a Mason, don't wear it if you're not a Mason. But if you want just to have a ring, it's not hard to make it into just a ring. But thank you, Lorenzo, for coming through. Appreciate it. Now, I was just talking about seeing if I'm going to the game on the 11th or not. So, still kind of up in the air. Not sure. But definitely going to Chicago. So, before the weather gets bad, I'm going to Chicago. So, in between now, September, probably October, I'm going to Chicago and do some work with some people in Chicago. So, that is my goal for this summer. Is to go see the people in Chicago, put in the work. So I hope to do that, to bring some conscious people over up here of, as I said before, Pomo is dynamic and and he's a younger cat too. He's not that old. I mean, he's older than, I think he's like around Sly's age, maybe even younger, a little younger, but not much younger. Pretty sure he's like in his mid-40s. So. And get to hear these people, as they live into, maybe, some people consider Chicago, some of the battlefields. Like the wars really never went, the wars never really ended. Really the wars for the, against the original people, against whatever you want to call it, now the government. I mean, the wars have always been there, even when the people didn't realize that the war was against them. Which happened in 1968 when they actually called the war. As I said before, the thing that caused the war, the Nixon, the war on drugs, what caused it was the march on the Panthers march on, I think it's Sacramento, the Capitol. With armed, they technically took over the Capitol with armed force. And you really look at that as the justification for the war on drugs that Nixon and them used against the melanated people, and they used the whole gamut of the psychological warfare, taking away the jobs, flooding the community with the drugs, and then going after the low level people as a way to fill these new prison, for profit prisons instead of state prisons. I mean, you got to realize some of these state prisons, like I told the story before, some of those prisons in Michigan, where one of my friends spent, I think he spent 25 years at that prison total. No, maybe, well, I know one dude probably spent 40 years at that prison, but it was a dude I heard that spent 70 some years at that prison, where he actually built the prison. He helped build the prison. He had been in there so long. But by the time they tore that prison down and even added to it, that prison had probably been there 120, 130 years. So you see how barbaric, even in some ways, that was. And so they tore a lot of that down. A lot of these profit per prison, started coming in where you can, some of them was trading on exchanges. So, ASD. Oh my, here's this guy going. $100 turns to 16K. Now that's not a lot to waste. That's not a lot to waste. I'm not going to bet that, but that's not lots to waste. Had Michael Sam.
He's playing ball in Barcelona now. He's even said that. He's coming out announcement was nothing special. He for as a circus, the media made it out to be. Wow. I kind of, yeah, I kind of said the same thing. I kind of thought and said the same thing, that it was nothing about it. He was just
I really thought that. I mean, what was his name that came out to USFL that played down in Sam Mills, right? Sam Mills. Sam Mills wasn't that big a dude. Michael Sam's was bigger than Sam Mills. Sam Mills, they put him in the Hall of Fame, right? Sam Mills, the dude played for USFL that ended up with the Saints, where Bobby Hebert was quarterback there. Sam Mills was that kind of linebacker, but Sam's was bigger than him. I mean, Sam's had everything. He really did. Actually, more of a 9 technique player, but no, he could play 1 or 9, but he would just, where they would stack one side, he would rush from that side, and that was very effective. Almost like more like that's what it was. Is he was really effective in the 46 type of defense, that the Buddy Ryan's type of system, where you put your best rushers on one end. Like that's what Richard Denton and Harris would do. He would put both them the top. It was like, you remember how Lawrence Taylor used to terrorize him by himself? Well, you put Richard Dent and somebody with him, and it was like a fail. It was like they had no, because to do Lawrence Taylor, what the Giants did is they put another tight end. They took away the fullback. Well, they moved the fullback to the tight end positions on both sides. Yeah, that didn't work against the Bears. Bears would put 2 of the baddest defenders coming at you. Buddy Ryan's like, okay, and nobody stopped him. Nobody stopped him, but Marino bombed him, passed the shit out of him. But that was the only thing, but it was easy to see that was allowed. So Mills played in that kind of defense, and he was successful. And he was playing, but if you can understand playing the middle like that, he was a middle inside. You got Sam Mike position inside. So he and really, if you look at the cast that's successful now, is saying about his covering thing. College, he didn't really cover like a strong safety would have to cover, so that's kind of hard. But he did cover the way a middle linebacker would have to cover. Rush in would have to cover at times, so he did have some there. So again, can't say I break enough film down of him to tell you why not, yay or nay. But he had some of the skills. Where he was weak, I couldn't tell you. But from his college film, it seemed like he could have went into a system. But again, everything is about timing. They used him. Again, they saying, people that were gay in football. I mean, again, this John Brody was the first person that really they kind of linked, and that was in the 70s. So, and if you read North Dallas 40, you see some of these other things that he writes about of how older football was. But both football teams should use air raid offense. It only works in college because the hashes are so wide. Not really. Everybody can really use it. Tell you what, Bill Belichick won't let nobody talk that shit about LT. Oh, I know. But Buddy Ryan did the same thing. Buddy Ryan had 2 of them, though, with Richard Dent. He had 2 of them. I mean, I remember seeing Richard Dent when we played them. I mean, everybody was huge. Richard Dent wasn't no little dude either. Richard Dent, when we were freshmen, Richard Dent was 6'5", with equipment on. Guys looked huge. He looked, and I mean, I was like 6'1 and a half, 6'2 probably was 6'2 at my max when I played. So Richard Dent was still quite a bit bigger than me. I hadn't played defense and had all them pads on and stuff. So he's still a big dude. And you get older and you play, you notice the dudes that, was before you, and you see them in the scouting reports and stuff. Same kind of way, the guys from previous years. Hey, you made it another year. Hey, here you go. I only say air raid doesn't work in pro because a lot of air raid quarterbacks were off in NFL. Johnny Manziel, they still use parts of it though. They still use parts of it. Sam got drafted with the Cowboys, was on the practice team, then got picked up by the Rams. He only played preseason. Before season, after he got cut, he dealt with a depression. I imagine I went through that same depression, man.
I mean, you can hustle. You can hustle on practice squads and stuff. You know, teams. It's just so much football around there. If you just put your ear to there, you know, coach talk to coach, where you get in these camps, at least get a look, you know, where the camps is going. I mean, it's just so many ways if you know people and just hustle and drive to these places, fly to these places, and you know, that's what it takes to be beat. You know, like what the old Temptation used to say, if one of them didn't want to show up, you know, I was there. You know, it's kind of, sometimes it's got to be that kind of deal where, you know, even if you get cut off the practice squad, if you stay in town and they may have a semi-pro team or somewhere that everybody work out and you can still go work out and stuff. I mean, sometimes you just stay in town, another position might open up. It's just the way you got to hustle. So, yep. I'm still going. I think definitely not the Red Sox. I'm really thinking Yankees or Twins. Yankees or Twins. Depending on how far they let the Twins go, looking at their story and the way the Twins story look now, I'm thinking definitely Twins. Twins has got everything. So, and they ain't like, you know, how they trying to have the Yankees, you know, really went up a high peak and the Yankees are kind of coming down. So I'm still thinking Twins, Yankees against the Angels, or excuse me, against the Dodgers. Have to see who else starts looking better over there, but that's what I got right now. Sam was too slow coming off the edge and gave up outside containment when teams ran that way. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that too. Yeah, you can't have that. No, could he made a kickoff team? Maybe. And you know, the way you could overcome that is, you know, don't put him in that situation. If you know that that's affecting him, then you put people around him that are strong like that. And you put him in the situations where, you know, you use his weaknesses instead of letting his weakness be used against him when you had different matchups. So, but that's good. He went to Barcelona first to be a lineman assistant. Then when the spot got available, he got on the team, and he's came back. He planned on staying in Spain to coach. Good. I told y'all before. Elijah. Yeah, Elijah Glass. Man, that is such a common name in Battle Creek. Elijah Glass. Which one is it? Or is he even Elijah? But one of the young guys grew up with my son, started playing pro ball in Poland, I think Poland. And then he brought in one of his friends that played pro ball. And I think that's what they're doing now. If they're not still playing, because they've got to be, they're not terribly old. My son is only about to turn 33. So yeah, they're younger or the same age. So they're still in their like late 30s, late 20s, early 30s. So they want a team, definitely want a team in England. It's sad that NFL Europe collapsed and didn't give more guys. I mean, the more sports teams you have, the more opportunities. That's what I liked about the NFL Europe. What was his name? Little John out of Michigan State. Was he Little John Flowers? Because there's Little Johns around me that are, then there are also Little John Flowers, which they're all kind of related, if I got the names right. But the one that went to Michigan State, my cousin is a Little John, or my cousin's brother, but he's my cousin too. You know, the way families go. Bill Russell for Red Sox. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Wishful thinking, buddy. I got me an eye on the Mets because it's been 36 years since they won. It was like what's interesting, if you listen to things and you hear the cheats and what was allowed. I was and this came on, any of y'all watched ESPN tonight. It came on ESPN. Maybe it was 2, but I think it was the main one. Maybe it was 2, because I was watching the pickleball championships. That's right. They had the pickleball championships on tonight. And I watched the pickleball championships. This one girl, she did not lose at all. She been undefeated like
That whole thing. The other girl, them together never lost, but this other girl never lost in men or women's. So, but their teams end up winning all the pickleball. Then afterwards, they showed a thing on the Loyola Marymount thing, and they kept emphasizing it's been 33 years since they made the tournament. And then they would, it's funny how they try to tell you, they tell you this stuff. Well, again, it's been 33 years. It'd be over and over again, the same spell to make you like if they don't tell you over and over again, this spell, you ain't gonna believe it. Be like, this team ain't shit. How y'all competing against all these big movies? Y'all can't compete against them. But they keep telling you the spell of 33 years again, you know.
So how to see stuff like that. What more? Red Sox, dude. The only World Series logos to have the double flags were 04, 07, 13, and 18, all which were Boston championships. Let's see if the trend continues. It won't, though, man. Give it up. Give it up, man. Give it up. You owe me a hat anyway. Send me a Boston hat. Yeah, I watched pickleball game on Tennis Network. I thought about it when I saw you. Oh, you saw? Okay, yeah, they had the championships. Yep. But ESPN had it. ESPN had some championships. I didn't catch it all. I only caught them giving the trophies. Because the girls were the MVP of the whole tournament. The girls turned the tournament out. Like I said, so the two girls together never lost a match. The one girl with both dudes never lost a match. The other girl lost a match with one of the dudes. So the one girl did not lose a match. No matter which one of her teammates she played with, she didn't lose a match. The other girl lost a match with one of the dudes, or both. I don't know. I missed it. I just caught that little bit. And then they gave them electric, like it looked like a little, what do you call the little TMX kind of little bikes, but electric ones. I didn't know. Well, I guess I've seen them, but they gave them kind of for BMVP. But the cool thing was they said it was the most money ever given out for pickleball. They won as 4 people. They won 100 grand. The girls, I think, got an extra 25 grand. I think they got extra. The girls got extra 25 grand a piece for being MVP. I think. Now I could be wrong, but so they said that now even on the amateur level, they're going to try to get where we get in these tournaments and like I used to hoop. Same thing as I used to hoop. You get enough people to come in and put a little bit in and be a pot. I think that's fair. So. He said, World Series logo 2 flags, just like all the Red Sox years. Yeah, we're not gonna, buddy. We're not gonna pay attention to you. We're gonna pat you on the back and say, okay, but we're not going to pay a lot of attention to you, buddy, because you've got Red Sox on the brain. My Twins are still being pretty steady. They're still being pretty steady. So, again, I've been busy man. Haven't been able to watch sports like I normally would. Watched some of the Canadian game last night, but then took a nap. I went to sleep last night at like 9 o'clock. I literally was on something like this. A friend was here. I was next to her, but I was sleeping prone. You know what prone means? It means laying down. You understand? So she's here. I'm here. Prone means laying down, sleep. From 9 o'clock, I think then finally she looked at the scene and said, you know what? I don't think you're moving. Because I think she kept saying the different times. You got an hour until, I think she was trying to prep me up, It was like, they would show scenes where the performer, they had to dope the performer to get ready to perform. Well, no, it was none of that. It was the opposite. It was like, hey, you can get up, you might have to go. I couldn't perform. There was no show. I was like tapped out. Tapped out. Couldn't get up. Yeah, I was tapped out last night. I didn't get up until 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. I slept from 9 o'clock. So Forerunner says you need rest. I need rest. Look nothing like a vampire. I live near some vampires, so I don't look like them. Vampires can't wear shorts. Did you guys know that? Vampires can't wear shorts. I've learned that much. So if you see somebody come to the beach and they don't have on
pants, and they're not religious. Again, there's religion that don't like pants or something. Do you know the Mennonites, some of those Quaker people are against zippers? They think there's something wicked in zippers. Well, I'll say this. Melanated men need zippers. I don't even know how I should tell this story, because the boat story wouldn't be, I can later blend that in. But before zippers with melanated men, a lot of people were getting slapped all the time. It wasn't anyone's fault, but it's just the way melanated men are. Zippers just, you needed something down there. I think at one time our people just went with tying around, you had to tie yourself down. You had some silk, and you took the silk and you tied it to your leg. That's kind of how it was for a long time, That's why you never would see real men tie their legs together to run together in some goofy race, because most men would be tied, right here. Why would you want to be tied? You see what I'm saying? Your thing is tied right here. His thing is tied right. You would naturally not want to do that, if you understand what I'm saying. Real men wouldn't tie, that's too close to go hop and shit. No, it makes no sense, if you understand. So we need zippers. So. Gosh, I don't even know if I should tell this story, but I'm going to tell the story. Sometimes, no, I'm going to save that story for another time. I'm going to save that for another time. Brock, yeah. Oh, Buxton. Yes, Buxton. They gave him his money. Hey, Dr. Sinister, thank you for joining me, man. I got the Braves versus Yankees. Braves versus Yankees. Yeah, that's a good possibility. I watched them play last week. And the Braves win. I'm coming talking cash money. Probably you'll have to take my wrench and kick me out. Nah, I wouldn't kick you out. Even rolling would be too long. Yeah, it's something wicked behind zippers. Franklin the Giant was the first one I ever heard to have a joke about zippers. Brother being there, trying to tie it up, trying to try on some pants and be like, zoop, and you shit, he has some new pants, and if most brothers can't really wear them tight undies, so you got some briefs on, and it just floop out the briefs, just floop out like that, and you don't think of it, and the next thing you know, it's like, wow, ah. Or even just a little bit of that soft part, gets, they're just little kind of meaty, and you get them in there, but just that little part will come out your little pants, and oh, that'll make you see stars, boy. And you don't want to move to cause more damage, you can't really, you don't really want to go up further, you don't want to go down, you're kind of stuck for a second, and you finally got to go one way or the other to get yourself free. You didn't know that? I was hinting at that the other night, but I don't care tonight. Yeah, vampires don't wear pants. They don't. I mean, they don't wear shorts. You'll never see vampires wearing shorts. Oh yeah, they're wicked. They are wicked. You guys don't shop. You have a one-track mind, man. You got Boston on the mind. You two ways, Boston or the Heat. Talk more props about the Heat. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're still going to be laughing. They're still horrible. Every time you come on, they just lost. How many times have you come on? I've come on where they've lost. More times than not. Just when they give you glory, they take it away from you by playing another game. So you can't look forward to them playing their next game. You know that. Their next game, you could be like, man, you ain't betting on all them games. No way. Oh, I don't bet on a lot of baseball. I don't bet on baseball when the other sports ain't really going. That's too difficult. I bet on baseball when the other sports is going. It helps a little more, but not without them other sports. It is too hard.
You can pick up a better rhythm when the other sports are going, I think, off of baseball. Because they have to be in line. As I said before, you know how many times you see double games where a dude, you know the rarity, like sometimes, one time I remember, the rarity of hitting 4 home runs, you know the rarity of that? I remember it's 2 dudes would do it. Like it seemed like one in each league would do it on the same day, damn near. And then it became the repeating thing of baseball, but you see, it's like one dude hitting the cycle, it'll be another dude hitting the cycle. I mean, it is such a repeative thing in baseball. You see one team lose one way, you see another team lose the same kind of way. I mean, you only get that in baseball. You only get that in baseball. And baseball, the degree of success and failure is so easy to script. I think it's so easy to script because you can always control everything about hitting can always be controlled. Everything about fielding can always be controlled. Everything about pitching can always be controlled. The pitcher always has an earplug now. Remember now the pitchers, what they told you and what I've always said, they've always been playing with earplugs. But now that you know the pitcher, coach, and catcher all have earplugs to tell the signs, which is their way of saying when the Astros cheated, now we got a way to say why we should have earplugs, right? When I've said all along they've had earplugs, but now they admit, the catcher's like doing like this, like can't hit, You know what it is some of them foreign players, they forget to bring in the translator. They'd be forgetting and the translator don't be in the room. He's like tell this motherfucker what to do. And the motherfucker's like, he can't play baseball without the headphone. But that's part of it. And so from that level, that's why it is definitely the easiest to, I think the script happens every time. I have not said that they never realized that. But he has a good regular season. Now Crenshaw too. Crenshaw is he always chokes, and they even when they win World Series, they do not let Crenshaw play well. I don't know what they got against him, but they do not let him play well. Which is quite interesting and entertaining. You know what's funny? This is funny to hit people. I don't know if y'all remember that dude who was talking stuff when he was drunk, but it's like when you just talking to people and you hit people with, remember what the brother said? He's like, look, I was drunk, but I wasn't driving. You just hit some people with that. They're like, what? I was drunk, but I wasn't driving. Like I got my friend. She was like, do you like to watch TV like to watch, the marathon TV? And I hit her with only when I do cocaine. And she's like, what? But that's the kind of little clever things I like to put out there. It's funny. You mentioned that the earplugs. Yesterday I saw, I think a female had earplugs in her ear. It was so obvious. They've been had that stuff, Now they even admitted that the quarterbacks got that stuff, and now they're telling you the top defender has it, so all of them have it. And as I said again, the fix is so. A lot of times, depending on who the players are and the players' relationship to how the fix went for them in college, not necessarily all the players at some points understand about the fix. As I've showed you, one thing that they took away from my other channel about was purely sports, and I had a play where the defender blocks 2 of his men to clear the running the other team. He literally takes out 2 of his teammates so the runner can go. The Minnesota Miracle is clearly that. The Minnesota Miracle puts 2 people out of position. It puts the player that blocks his own player, it puts them both out of position. It was one of the worst scripts ever written, the worst obvious kind of things.
And then I remember the interview. I even did the interviews afterwards, and that's the thing that's lost is the interviews afterwards. I even put them out there. And I imagine they're probably, you can probably still dig, but they had no excuse. I mean, each player, what he did to take the other guy out, there was no excuse.
So that's what we looked at. Well, thank you, D. Thank you. You talking about Mr. Turner. I was drunk, but I wasn't driving bit. Jumped in my lap. That's right. He say, what's happening? He say, Mr. Turner, he's like, what's happening? I admit I was drunk, but I wasn't driving. I love that. And that's the answer for everybody. Well, what do you think about that big Pontiac? I was drunk, but I wasn't driving. Okay, that solves it. Thank you. Or see, those of you that like to cheat, that's what you can say. I was drunk, but I wasn't driving. That's why I couldn't come home. That might work. I don't know. My cheating days are over. Started making me think of some emotion songs. Walking through how did the emotion? Walking through the thing with the one I love on my mind. Oh, I can't think of it. Through the sea of love. Oh, most song of emotion sing. Oh, the emotions, best of my love is probably the best. Yeah. You guys, whoever know her name, the best of my love probably shows some of the greatest range ever. Individual. Another song where chick shows her range is I want to put it in the walnuts. Young man, single and free, she could blow too. Experience and will accept the young trainee. Oh, I want to put it in the walnuts. Lipstick on his collar, perfume on his shoe. But her range is crazy too. She does another song, Stick Up, Highway Robbery. Yeah, the honeycombs. The honeycombs. They doing the breakdown. They do the chicks. They do the breakdown. Where the singers can do some of the hip dances. They do the breakdown. I tell you, my girl, I wasn't drunk, but I wasn't fucking. Nah, hey, Bernetta, how you say? No, Richard Pryor's got the best answer. Who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? Richard Pryor is the best answer for that. Who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? Men come up with some crazy stories. And I don't think women believe all the crazy stories. Like my dad was the worst because he had 2 girlfriends in town. And he would get caught just dancing like at his hangout. Like of all the places in the world to dance with this other woman would not be the hangout you go to every day after work to eat and drink and be merry. That is not where she should be. Not if you're discreet. But that old man, that old boy, his pimping was kind of weak. So, he wanted to have his drink and his little snack food and, her there too. Knowing the possibility that the wife could come in and chastise you. Only way that a wife can chastise you. And I remember he told the full story. My stepmother walks up to him and asks him, is he having fun? That was the best she could do. Walk in there, see your husband's car. And I probably could tell a worse story about myself. I'm not going to just tell one part of the story, but I will tell this part of the story. So I went to court to testify on some traffic cases. I only had maybe 2 or 3 traffic cases.
seemed like I really didn't want to give the person a ticket, but it's like I had to give them a ticket. They did the shit. So they took me to court. I didn't really care. You know, some people you care you wrote a ticket from, some you did. So I took my friend that wasn't my wife at the time, and perhaps my wife and I were separated. I don't know. We might have been separated. I don't know. But we were in court. She was with me. She sat in the back. When they called my name, I went up there, did my couple cases. I was on the, you know, the judge was like, look, Brian, do you care if she get off? I'm like, you know, Judge, I really don't care. So she was like, cool. He don't care. Cool. Didn't hurt me. I still did my work writing the ticket. I had no prejudice, you know, whether it's without prejudice. Now, I think that means you can bring it back up. But anyway. So I'm walking out, and the court is like, you know how the R. Kelly commercial in the Boondocks, everybody was in rhythm, and, you know, just like everybody was like kind of happy people, you know, like everybody was really happy for my last case. You know, it was like, it was a pretty girl, it seemed like, involved, and we were all like, the judge was happy, and everybody was just happy in the place. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my brother's wife and my ex-wife, or my that time, my current wife, just show up, you know, and interrupted all the happy people. You know, it's like everybody who was happy one minute, little birds flying and ribbons going around, like all went away. And it was like, dun, dun, dun. And, you know, everybody like froze, you know. And everybody had to notice and look. And I'm standing in front of my brother's wife. And I'm standing in front of my wife. And my ex was wearing my gold chain with my name on it that I think she had bought me for a birthday or something. I don't know. But I had a couple gold chains by then. So, you know, friend didn't have any gold. So that was the one I liked the least. So I let her wear it. And so in stylish television fashion, my ex rips the chain off her neck, off my later future wife neck, and she leaves. I don't know where the children were. They weren't with me, and they obviously weren't with them. They didn't bring any children with them in court. And I think there were children involved with all parties at that time. Pretty sure. So I don't know where the children were. But so, not to just say I talk bad about everybody else and, you know, say I'm the greatest. No, I wasn't. I had a lapse in judgment. And my lapse was, should have went in court by myself, you know. That is true. That sounds perfectly imperfect.
These ratchet modern day broads today would say, I know what looks like you.
That's where they, you know, remember That Wasn't Me song came from some Eddie Murphy shit. I think Eddie Murphy made a skit where his wife was catching him every time. If y'all remember where the original Wasn't Me came from, y'all don't remember that part? I think that was like an Eddie Murphy sketch where he was getting caught, but he would just say it wasn't me and he was getting away. That's where the song came from, that skit, if I remember right. Well, me. Because it was around when Richard Pryor came up with that joke and Eddie Murphy kind of came up with a joke that kind of, you know, as Richard Pryor said, who you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? I think Eddie Murphy came up with it wasn't me. Looked like, no, I wasn't me, baby. I'll tell you the worst thing is I've had chicks. I would have chicks like this. This is the worst kind of haters. I would be places and I know people didn't see me, but I had a woman tell my woman, well, I was the such and such and I smelled his cologne. I've had a woman tell my woman that I didn't see him, but I smelled his cologne. And I was trying to, like, I listened to this story. And I later confronted it, and I was there. She was right. That's why she smelled the shit, because I was there. But she didn't see me. But I was there, and she did smell me, but she did not see me. But isn't that some haterism? Well, I smelled your man's cologne, so I know it was there. You smelled his cologne, so you're saying no one else wears that. Well, no. But that's the kind of hate I used to get. And I would be there. They wouldn't be lying. That's why they smell me, you know. Shit, like, yeah. But she didn't see me. But they'd bust me like that. Well, I smelled you, man. You smelled me? And then she would tell me this shit, and I'm looking at her like, yeah, I was there, but they didn't see me. So you know how you do the reverse psychology. Because that is crazy thinking. Somebody can just tell you your man, they smell you, man, and, you know, makes you suspicious. Well, other women be like that. You stupid bitch. Don't call me no more. What the fuck is wrong with you? You smell the motherfucker? Everybody smells. Yeah, he would smell good. Other motherfuckers. But did you see his friends? That's what some people like. Did you see his friends? You know his friends be wearing that shit too because he wear that shit. Did you see his friends? That's how other women would reply to that situation. Yeah, by Shaq. I didn't know it came. Yeah, it was another skit. Now maybe I'm wrong about Eddie Murphy, but that came from another skit. Where it was a skit where the dude was getting away, where the wife was catching him kissing some people. The dude would, she's like, "You're kissing her right now." He's like, "That wasn't me." That's where that come from. That was a skit. Now maybe I'm wrong about Eddie Murphy, but that was a skit. And it was funny because dude would literally get caught. He would just look at her. That wasn't me. And he would get out. She's like, "Oh, okay." But that's where, yeah. No, Shaggy didn't come up with it. That was way older. That was a way older skit before Shaggy. But I want to say Eddie Murphy, but I could be wrong. But it was a skit that came from. I don't know. It's just funny times. Like I told older stories. Man, I was told a story, you know, being in the club, not supposed to be in the club. My mother turned around, looks me right in the eyes, don't realize it's me. Because I'm trying to sneak out. And that way, it was only one way to get in, one way to go out. And I couldn't have stood around. There's no way. Once she came in, there was nowhere I could stand. It was just like everybody's there. So it was best to get out. And I just happened to have bad timing. And my mother turned around and looked me dead in the face and turned back around and went in the club. Because I'm trying to get up out that motherfucker. And I'm almost out. And my mother just turns and looks at me. And you know what I thought. I'm going to tell you what she thought. This is just another jigaboo. And she went in. I read her mind. Like, you thought I was just another jigaboo and you went in the club. No, but she didn't expect to see me. Well, see, that you matrix people. She didn't expect to see me, so I couldn't have existed at the club, right? Despite I was in there making merry for a while. In her reality, she would have never thought I was up in there making merry. At 16, maybe? Yeah. So for her to see me at the club would more than likely mean I didn't exist, because she would not expect me at 15, because I wasn't 18 yet, to be in the club. So, and I used to sneak women in my windows and stuff. Well, not women, girls. In my windows and stuff. I don't know if my brother ever did any of that. We had a ranch style with a basement. So, in room, just be quiet. Windows always all prepared, in and out, no problem. My little brother had an upstairs room, and he left the ladder out. He put the ladder out so he could crawl out the window. Like, okay, Mom, Dad, see, I'm going up my room. And he put the ladder out and climbed out the ladder. So he had to leave the window open to wait to get back in. So his mother looked out the window and saw the ladder. So they waited for him. My stepmother waited outside, or she waited in the room. I think she went to sleep in the room and waited for him to climb back in. Oh, it seemed like they caught him both ways. It was like one was at I don't know, but they caught him when he was coming back in, or they took the ladder. He couldn't get back in. I didn't even mention this. Damn. Wow, yeah. My family had something like today. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. Today, Sunday, well, yesterday, was something like my family's 100 and, what are we, 18? 1850 to now. Man, we've had family reunions since 1850 in Michigan. And today was one of the latest. I had some family come through. So I talked about the other day, I just couldn't put it all together to go. It's hard to put everything together to go. So wasn't able to put it together to go. But that was all right too. Everything is about timing. And I know how that my mother looks at us like never millionaire to make it again. Which it could happen. But it was like it's from since 1850 we've been having a reunion in Michigan that long. So for my family, a time of rejoicing, showing, even though we were displaced off the East Coast, we still were able to maintain, some of the family lands in the Midwest. And that gets into the history of the people. The people always traveled through all these lands. So the people were never just landlocked. I don't think any nation can really say that. Even, the later claims, even once the French and, of course, the British later came. And you study your own, own idea of, the actions of the British and the way the lands were taken. I don't think I need to go over that again and again. That point's never really relevant anymore. What's relevant is worrying about yourself. That's what's relevant. And what does things and actions and current events mean to you? It's raining like a motherfucker outside. It was mild today. When I was playing pickleball, it was so humid. I mean, it's funny. I played the first game, and I saw family playing. And again, I play with everybody. I don't really care. It's like, let me get into playing with these, because a lot of good players was there. I got to play with some of them. But I just started playing with the families and got my workout in. And then later played with some of the good players. One dude's getting married next week. He came back today. So I was leaving when he came. I played 6-7 games today. More than enough. More than enough to keep sharp. Some dudes have ball machines that feed you the pickleballs, the different spins. So maybe next year I'll get something like that. A couple people have bought those. Ain't that expensive. The same thing as a tennis ball, but give you the different kind of looks. I'm going to get my paddle. I like my paddle, even though I saw the pros. It's another kind of paddle as the pros. I think I'm going to get the other version of mine. I don't know. Let me see. I'm still going to need another racket. But my endurance is getting there. I think I'm going to play fall basketball. I think basketball I can start playing full court in October. I think I'm going to join Lifetime and start hooping too. Going to see. I don't know. I think I get good enough I can play ball. And with Keelan being 6'7", we'll run. We'll have some nice little runs. And I can shoot, and I'll put some cameras up during the games. Get in shape. And then the young man, I saw his parents. I went to the movies with his parents last night, and I proclaimed to them that they're going to cry just as much as he's going to cry, and his sister and his grandmother. They're all going to cry when I destroy them on camera playing ball. So that's coming. As I told you, I'm going to take young people out one-on-one at a time. And before you know it, all of them are going to want to challenge me. But I'm only going to challenge so many people. But he's one of the right people that I'm going to destroy. So
That's up and coming.
that's up and coming. So wanted to put that out there. That's up and coming too. Damn, I've been an hour already? Wow. Okay, I got a little more. So that's up and coming too, to show me destroy others on the basketball court. I think I could beat Corey Holcomb. I think I could probably beat him hooping. I watched how he hooped. He couldn't deal with me. And I'm just as strong. He ain't stronger than me. We the same height. He ain't stronger than me. Even if he weighed more than me, he ain't stronger. I'm pretty still a strong dude. Even though he's 10 years younger, he ain't really that 10 years younger, stronger. Still fairly strong. And you see me, how I'm banging and bunking my son at 6'6". I doubt he could bang and he would think that, you know. You guys watch the videos. It ain't like I didn't just stood there. You see, I'm pushing him off. I'm shouldering. The whole time he's got to play me with some kind of control. If he doesn't have his hand on me, he could never check me any kind of way. So you see that. I'm not soft. You see that? I'm still enthusiastic enough to bang with a younger person. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel in the fall. Court's pretty good court they play on. You know, it's just a matter of shoes and only playing a couple times a week. I think I can hang with it. It's funny how you can condition your body, and you really can. This is a thing of people the way you want to stay in shape. If you start hooping and you hoop the same day every week, eventually you will get that once a week type of in shape of hooping. I mean, you really will. In a quick amount of time, if you play basketball, but you play basketball at least once a week, your body will adjust to once a week basketball in shape. I mean, it really does work like that. Men, women, I mean, it will work like that for anybody. It really will give you that. Now, if you go to twice a week, before you know it, your body will really give you two times a week. And by the time, if you can do 4 or 5 times a week, your body will adjust to that too. If you play that much. And at times I did. But I used to notice, like, when I would just, like, I had to work a lot and I could only get that Monday night, you know, that Monday kind of run in, my body still stayed in that. Even though I got that little bit of playing time, my body still kept me in that kind of once a week shape, which I appreciate. I appreciate it because once things change, however, you know, work schedule was changed, and I had more time, I was still in a little bit of shape because I was at least in that once a week type of shape, if you understand that kind of concept. And so whatever you do, if you consistently do it, you will get in that type of shape. So whatever you do. And I'm telling you, Super Slide, whenever you hear this, or whoever can tell him, you play tennis, you're going to love pickleball. I mean, it's no way you shouldn't play. If you play tennis, you'll love playing pickleball. I'm just saying. The girls who won this money today, matter of fact, here we go. One of the girls that won the money today, she said as a professional tennis ball player, she had only won, what did she say? She had only won $3,000. As a professional tennis player, she had only won $3,000. Here, she done won $25,000 for her team, because her team won a total of, it was 4 of them. They won a total of $100,000, and then they got MVP, which I think was another $25,000 apiece. So, you see why she wanted to switch? And as my son, my 27-year-old son, thinks it's just an old people game, it is not. It is something that, as I said, the young man I played with a couple of days ago, him and his brother, both tennis background. I mean, this guy had played for a month. And he beat me like no one had ever beat me playing one-on-one. I've hit with a lot of different people. Now, playing 2-on-2, I would watch this game. His game had to change. But one-on-one, this guy could play with anybody. Really could hit. Really understood hitting. And that's what it is. Same kind of angles as tennis a lot of ways. Setting up your second, third shots. Did a lot of that today. That's really cool. You know, that's what I like, is like I can hit power shots, and if like dudes rush to the net, and if you can defend my shot when I hit it hard. So I had fun today. Just playing with the people, having fun, keeping myself in. I rarely play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I might play tomorrow. I'm gonna be up, so I might have a chance to play tomorrow. Around 11. If they're still playing after 11, I might get some morning playing. I got a busy day tomorrow. So I might be able to get that in. So if I do play. So I'm not going to go terribly late tonight.
Also, I had to give out the transition energy of the omen. Lorenzo says, is a pretty fast-paced game, but not fast-paced as tennis, but it's pretty fast-paced. I mean, what's cool about it, if you really understand, you take 4 people and you can really, in a short amount of time, get a great workout. With 4 people, you can consistently have 4 people and play fours, you'll get a great workout. You get a great workout. You just keep switching people, quit switching, keep switching who's playing with who. You'll get a great workout that way. Nobody can deny it. I can't be denied. And so that's yeah. You as I said, the way the rates are, if you can get like you have to pay so much to get to court for $1 indoor, like $20 or whatever it costs to get an hour, a half hour. Some instances, a half hour, you could probably with 4 people, a half hour pickleball, you could probably get in almost 8 games. Probably. Games go really quick. You play 11, games go really quick. But even at different levels, like when I played with the one family, between the 3 adults of us, we could kind of get some great shots going back and forth. And that's what it is. It becomes such a defensive and skilled game. But I like, the way I can dig shots. I really am good at catching them shots and can dig them up. So getting there. I'm getting good where I wanted to. I didn't want to be good in June. I want to be good now. August, September. So I'm still going to have to end up getting another paddle. And I'm leaning towards getting another one like mine, but I saw the girl, one of the paddles she used, and there's a version of that paddle too that I might consider. Because I don't know if I'm going to get, because I'm thinking about getting the paddle, the extended and heavier one like mine. But I don't know. I might still want to have the other kind of frame paddle too. So I'm kind of seeing which way I want to go, because I kind of like my paddle. Now I'm kind of getting used to, even when I make mistakes with the hands, I'm able to make mistakes where I'm still able to react. Catching a lot of stuff. Just being a little slow, but still getting there. Have fun. Definitely have fun. Had one guy so good defensively, a couple times he hit me because I couldn't get low enough. He hit me, my own teammate. He defended the play, but it was like he couldn't zip it over me. So which way I moved or not. So I'm gonna go see in the morning. But whatever you guys do, I mean, be active. I guess you can't ever say whenever, one thing I've always talked about is being active. When I really started this, I've showed, even on my other channel, I showed my own how far I've come. And I did videos on my other channel going back. Again, my channel started 14. I did videos where I would just shoot baskets and stuff, just showing how you could just be active. That's, baskets is so great because you really can get your heartbeat. You have a basket at your house. Just no matter what level of age you are, you can really get your heartbeat by doing it for like 20 minutes, just shooting some shots up. I mean, another little exercise we used to do is what we call it a European 21. We call it white 21, where you just shoot free throws and layups. And so you get two free throws. You can score 2 times of the free throw, and then you get 1 layup, and you just keep scoring like that, and you will score 21 like that. So it's no really physical play. It was the skill of being able to make shots. And it was funny that because we used to play, these schools in the suburbs had mostly the European children, and we used to always wonder what made them such good free throw shooters. And I always looked at the way we played 21 was whoever scored the most. But the way they played 21, you got credited with making free throws. And also, I wondered, if it was that, I don't know. I just looked at that training as a lot of brothers wasn't showed this training. Again, I played a dude from somewhere else, and I learned that type of training where you emphasize, instead of who can score the most, the skill of making free throws. So you can't really hate on that kind of training, because it did, put a skill with the person. How long have I been going? Okay. Gymnastics women are the most feminine athlete women. Volleyball are second. The least is basketball. Oh, no doubt.
You know, I was hearing people say that testosterone, um, the release of testosterone is more in basketball, but I don't understand how that can be. I really don't. Testosterone is released in different ways. I mean, the workouts that volleyball players do and basketball players do are only different in volleyball doesn't have the endurance kind of movement, but you have to be in volleyball, you have periods where you're locked into standing and reacting for periods. And so in that regard, it's just as much agility and everything, maybe more agility used, even though you're not doing the aerobic thing of running up and down playing basketball. But it's more intense because the way your muscles are used in anticipating of helping on a given volleyball play. So I look at, I don't just because I've known, I did start, I'll say very masculine girls, women, young girls in college, more so than high school. However, there was one girl, I said her name was Mel her whole life. Her name was Melanie, but her name was Mel her whole life. Everybody called her Mel. It was so sad. I mean, she was forced to fight boys at such a young age, but she would square off like she was Larry Holmes or Ali. I mean, she would literally was the first girl I saw really square off with a dude. And I remember it was a riot. Her fight. I don't even know if it was a riot. It was like her family was fighting other people. I remember her and this dude fighting in the front yard, and her family was fighting all up and down the street. Damn, I hadn't thought about that in a long time. It was the first time I saw like black families, multi-members fighting each other. So it wasn't just like one or two people mad at each other. It was like all this whole family was fighting. I don't even remember why, but I remember seeing she was caught in that. Because whoever was attacking them at home, and she had to fight in the front yard. I remember that. But I remember they was fighting up the whole yard. She had a couple other, she had another brother. I wouldn't even say one more other brother, and they was fighting up and down the street. But it seemed like other they people was all fighting up and down the street. I was young, fourth, fifth grade, maybe fifth, and seeing her have to fight like that, fighting all these people. I don't even remember young, old. I can't remember. But I just remember all of them fighting. What can't say it was good, That wasn't no good situation. Especially for a young girl. So I don't know if they're just saying that basketball does that to just women. But it seems pretty prevalent. My only argument with what was done in basketball is men were allowed for long periods. If your child wasn't going to be good as a male, it's been allowed for a long time in America to let your child participate as a female. That's been allowed for a long time. And I don't care what anybody says, Brittany Griner is amongst one of those. And many others. She ain't the only one. I've said Robert Roberts on ABC is probably the first one that really got the national acclaim for being like that. And I've said before, Prop 48 is just as much for that. It's written to help that too. Funds to help that. So that's no hate or anything. Because that's what a lot of parents saw. If my child can't compete at this level, they start taking this, medication, and they can compete at this other level. And it's been accepted for a long time. I mean, Roberts is my age. So it's been accepted for a long time, 40 years. Well, Prop 42 is not that old. It's 30 some years. The Prop 48, whatever it is. Title 9, excuse me, I'm tripping. Title 9. Title 9, it's not that old. There's no hate, anyone. I'm just saying that this was written years ago to help what's been going on. I mean, you say, well, you don't think Brittany is, but Brittany would be under the same guise of the people doing the track or even the swimmer. I mean, what you can say was done to Brittany would be the exact same thing you said was done to the track player or the swimmer. at some point, their parents started giving them these pills to, change their estrogen levels. So, I mean, that's no secret. That's been done for a long time. I mean, that's what the swimmer tells you he did. That's what the track people tell you they did. And at certain points, if they pass, there's certain countries that would let them participate in track. That's just the way the way it's been. So it's no hate on people. It's just telling what's been allowed, what's not been allowed. Right? So that's all. So I don't know if basketball changes that or not. I just see it more in basketball girls. Softball, another softball. You don't see the tough girl in softball. You see the very feminine woman in softball, the feminine shaped woman in softball as well. I pointed that out. One of my videos on this channel, I pointed that out. The women in softball are very much like basketball, volleyball. Lacrosse, you don't necessarily see the tough women in lacrosse either. In lacrosse, soccer is another one. You don't see sometimes you do, but I would say soccer is probably, you don't see a lot of the tough. Somewhat you do, but I think, on a high level that most boys can do soccer on a high level. So I don't know, that's used as much as it's used in basketball. I'm sure it's used somewhat, but it does not seem like it's used as much as it's used in basketball. Man, when you get a lot of bitters, I eat 90% chocolate or better, and I eat that She Legit constantly. Nails. Said this before, the only reason I started getting my hands done, feet too, hands and feet done, when I played football. Girl just looking at my hands. It was like, man, why don't you put clear on your hands? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, the way you get them busted, because like I had got my finger busted, the ball would bust your fingers, That shit sometimes would get infected, keep you out. So, when you get busted down like that, you would want to, really keep it clean, because you could get it busted and you start getting all that pus in there because you ain't keeping it clean. But if you keep it clean, you can still play because you keep it from getting infected and you can keep playing. It's just, but she was just looking at that like, wow, this will stop that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So she gave me the clear stuff. And then she was like, clear might even help you catch. So I always will let these fingers get longer and then put the clear on it and let the fingernails get longer. And it did help you catch better, having longer fingernails. Because sometimes that's where soft balls come in. You could really get your nails in it. Before you switch to gloves, soft balls, that was the advantage of a soft ball. Hard balls, hard, fast balls, but even hard, even thrown balls that is soft, like slightly older sometimes. Older balls would be soft. You would be able to get a little nail in that ball. That's the advantage sometimes of a soft ball. You can really, and I know now with the gloves and stuff, but years ago, that's why people like soft balls. You could kind of get a little nail in the catch. And then the problem people would have with their feet. It's like, yeah, get somebody to cut my toes so, I don't have those problems. Mushrooms growing in your feet and shit. That's rough looking. Asking a dude, 6'12". Asking a dude 6'12", why he ain't playing? He shows the coach's foot and there's a mushroom growing off his foot. What is the owner going to tell this boy with a mushroom growing off his foot? Not a lot you can do for that. So. What is this? Hey, OTF, what's happening? Have you ever
land on top of the football where it knocked the wind out of you, where you hurt. Oh yeah. That was the first time I got the wind knocked out of me was I landed on the crown of a football. Yeah. I was probably 5th grade. I'm pretty sure I was in maybe 6. I was tearing them up too. It was like the other team hadn't moved. We had scored a couple of touchdowns. Wherever we kicked them the ball, that's where they stayed. I was dominating the front line. I didn't mind playing nose tackle. I didn't mind playing tackle. I didn't mind playing defensive end. I loved it all. I love playing line. I mean, that's how I started football. I loved playing line as a little boy. It wasn't until later I was faster than everybody that they started making me go back. But at first, the way I was taught to be rough. And so I had made a boy fumble and hit him, and he fumbled, and I landed on the ball, but the ball was like straight up when I landed on it. And that's the perfect way to knock the wind out of you. I mean, really, the cone of a football, imagine like you lay it on this and it just poof. Oh my goodness. It feels, I mean, to be young, it's one of the few things that'll make you feel like you're dying when you're young. To get the wind knocked out of you when you're young, that's one of the things that you go through is like, damn, I could die. It's one of the few things that happens to you where you think you can die. I mean, I know being sick, you touch a little bit, but instantly getting the wind knocked out of you as a child instantly makes you see you can die. You'd be like, I don't think I'm supposed to go, not knowing that you just it'll start back. But yeah, when you do that, you make that noise, but you can tell that it's gone. Ain't no way it's not going. What's wrong with my ribs? What's wrong? So yeah, I've had my ribs broke too, though. That's worse. I ain't had too many. That motherfucker hit me with that bat. Ain't too many things hurt worse than that. That knocked the wind out of me and it broke my ribs. That ain't too many pains I've had more than that immediate pain. Yeah. That wasn't even a pain where I could, it caught me so off guard that it wasn't even a pain I could say I anticipated the pain of the rush of the pain. Oh no. It was like, shit, that shit was instantaneous surprise and pain at the same time. And that is not good to pain to be a surprise. It's not great. It's how people get killed. When so much pain is surprise, you get killed. Luckily, it wasn't something that was going to kill me, but it was definitely something to incapacitate me to allow me to be killed. It was easier. Yes, that sums it up. More to make me be. It was going to be easier to kill me. Easier to kill me. So, but that's not a good feeling either, and that stays longer. Just having the wind knocked out of you for a minute goes away. Having your ribs broke, that stays with you for a minute. Especially having little children, they'd always rush me from that side. It's like I would be getting better. And then when the children would come up to me and jump on me, and like they not only jump at me, like just kick the shit out of me too, Like these little bodies come up to me and they would just like, I'm trying to heal here and I'm picking it up, and I would pick them up and they would just kick the shit out of me right here, and just make it worse all over again. Like I'm almost healed, and then just the child just rears and kicks me in the same freaking spot where this shit's broke. You know how that would hurt, hurt me back again? And what I'm gonna do, just choke this little child because I'm hurt? Nah, just take it. Take it on the chin. I think they've stole that from me, y'all. I'm seeing some of them people out there saying take it on the chin. Look at my old videos. I think a lot of them I forgot about that. I put that spell out there. I'm seeing other dudes saying that one went quicker. I put that out a long time ago there, but yeah, see, they watch stuff. And when they hear stuff, they got to hurry up and try to use it. So I called somebody else like, oh, that's my stuff. So even though they're not watching, they're watching. Even though they're not watching, they're watching. Oh, yeah, but no fun if you've never had the wind knocked out of you. No fun. No fun. I've had people, just fall. Like, just breathe. Just breathe. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just breathe. Just breathe. Yeah.
Babies stun themselves, you know. I think I've had my children being babies, and babies stun themselves. Make them breathe, you know, knock the wind out of themselves because they're babies. Fall, you know, not fall, but just fall and stun themselves and just they, you know, mess up their breathing. You know, like you can breathe again. Come on, breathe. Blow in their face, you know, because babies will cry. It seems like babies will cry and knock the wind out of themselves. They'll cry so hard, and you breathe, you blow in their face, and they'll start breathing again. Yeah, that's what it is. Babies will cry, and they'll cry so hard where it knocks the wind out of themselves. And they'll try to cry again, won't let them come out, but you just breathe in their face. You're like, wait, no, just shut up again. No, but that's what you do. Hadn't thought about that in a long time. Hope life is good where you guys are. Life is good. Oh, full moon. My daughter turns 11 on Wednesday, and the full moon is on Wednesday. So, yeah. My youngest, 7 more years is going to go by so quick. My youngest will finally be my middle daughter. Yeah, she'll be out in a year or so. She's a junior. So my best friend's son. Oh, that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to call my best friend. Forgot to call her. That's what I was supposed to do. I did forget to do that. Busy people, y'all know. Thought about when I got here, I thought I was supposed to call him. Yeah. Because it was like he's not a late person like I am, so I got to catch him a little earlier. Plus he works during the week. So catch up with him though. And I know a lot of y'all are communists out there and let your children go to school in the summertime. I'm not going to say about that, but my children go to camps. My child just got back from a week-long visit at camp. And you people that live in those states where you guys are communists, you are making your children go to school in the summertime. I don't understand it. My daughter goes to band practice and tennis tomorrow. Now, what are your children doing in where you guys are run by Nazis? You are sending your children to school. Where's the culture in that? To school. It is summer. Children get out in the spring and summer. They have summer vacation. Summer doesn't end until September 21st. My children go back June 6th. My daughter goes back September 6th, excuse me, which is slightly like 2 weeks from September 21st. So do you see? She goes 2 weeks in the spring, and she only goes 2 weeks in the summer. I think that's fair. That is fair. Now, there is Labor Day for everybody. Y'all got Labor Day. Y'all don't let them fool y'all into making y'all send your children to school before Labor Day. See, we're big in tourism up here in the Midwest. Tourism. So we want all the tourism we can get. So we're not going to send our children to go to school in the summertime. Do you understand? So all you communists, a lot of you guys are communists out there. Even though Ohio's in the Midwest, you guys are communists if you got your children going to school in the summertime. Our children, we love our children. We love our children to be out of school in the summertime. Don't know about y'all. Don't know about y'all. Children going to school in the summer, that should be against the law. That should be against the law, y'all. Y'all making y'all children go to school in the summertime. Not my child. Not my child. 2 weeks in the spring and 2 weeks in the summer only. Only. See? Not send children back to school in the summertime. You get them mixed up. There's no seasons anymore for them. They're just summer. Summer to me means freedom. Freedom from school, freedom from regulation. That's what it means to me. I shouldn't read his comment because His child is in school right now. You're sitting there looking at her newly laid clothes out for school.
We just found out she goes back Wednesday last week. What? We just found out she goes back Wednesday. She's supposed to go to school last week. Damn, she's supposed to go to school last week and y'all just found out. Damn. I bet she do. I bet she do. She's like, they're like, girl, you gonna be in school? My parents don't know. She's like, they don't know we supposed to go back. Girl, they don't know. I'm not telling her. She just sitting there knowing she's supposed to go to school. She knew. She's like, no, they don't know. Girl, they don't know. No, your parents don't know you're supposed to go. No, they have no clue, baby. They think I'm supposed to go back. This coming Wednesday. No, y'all didn't know. It was last week. They don't know. Girl, I ain't telling them. Your mama ain't gonna call them and my mama working. She ain't got time to be calling. She don't be gossiping. I'm just, yeah. Hell. Yeah, having children go to school in the summer should be,
yeah, that's right. I want them to still go out to fish, even though I ain't for fishing, but go out there and fish regardless. Have some time off. My children's off. She's off. She gets to go to camp, see? Now, band this kind of school, any kind of activity school.
She tried to get me a couple years ago, but the principal grandmother asked her where she was.
She was supposed to be here. I kind of thought that when I was seeing all the buses going around and picking up the other children, why they weren't picking up mine? Ain't you supposed to be on? No, Dad, I'm not with that school. But your little classmates, they got on the bus. No, Dad, no. I go to a different school. Yeah. See, I remember my son would get so mad. I would buy my sons them little $5. They used to be like $5 little outfits. Maybe it was $2.50 at first, but it was little outfits from Walmart. Them little sweats. It was black, gray, blue, red, and green. Yeah, I would buy them each. I would buy 2 of each. And then give them that. I would give them jeans because we always would go jeans. I'd get jeans. You can get good little boy jeans from all the secondhand places. I'm not even gonna say any names, but great little boy jeans. So they always had great jeans. But that's what I've been. Oh, and of course, years that I bought them nice little Nike hoodies or Jordan hoodies, pictures. Now look at the old pictures. I did pretty well by them. They're pictures. They look good. They don't look like little bums. They talk all that stuff. They can't talk stuff when they was little. They was dressed more than reasonably.
No more smoking dope in the bathroom. Oh my goodness. No more school, no more books. Oh my, I told that story before. These motherfuckers.
First time, the first time I saw Angel Dust, the motherfuckers watched these niggas hit that shit. I ain't hit that shit. It smelled. I smelling that smell. I wasn't interested, but I was like, what is that goddamn smell? And just watching them dudes hit it. And by the time the last dude hit it, how they was all acting. One dude puked, hit the Angel Dust, and he puked right there. He just puked, hit it, gave it to somebody else, and he puked. And one dude it looked like he was going to have a heart attack. He started sweating so hard. Like, damn, just watching each of them, they hit that bush. And I don't even know what it was. Angel Dust just had a stilly-like smell. Like if when you've ever smelled like type of melted steels, I don't know. Like, I'll tell you what it smelled like. If anybody remember that one time, like smoking joint, you would have roaches, and people used to make these papers, and the paper had the roach in it. So as the ropes, went smoked, you still had something to hold it by. It smelled the same way, I thought. And I know they thought that shit was convenient, but that shit smelled the same. You could still smell because there's a wire little thing that held those things. And so you use that kind of paper, it had that same kind of smell. I thought. Mm. Mm. I don't want none of that. I was getting high off the good chemicals. Oh my goodness, that shit was funny to watch. They got all of them high. All of them had a different reaction. They were just looking at the niggas, and I was like, nah. I just wanted to see that shit. When they brought them, I'm like, who got some of that shit here? And I went in there and watched them. It was like some 70s shit where everybody was in there. Everybody was like, it was just literally everybody was standing against the wall. And the motherfucker was getting high. It was like on one side of the wall where I was stalls, not even stalls, just dude's bathroom just open. And everybody's kind of leaning against the wall watching these goofy niggas. Fairly big bathroom, but it was just funny. Funny watching them. They got them something. I used to have one of my guys was a hall monitor, and he used to give us keys to his car. We'd drive around the school. We just drive around the school, smoke weed in his car. But he's one of my guys. He had played with he was one of the hall monitors. And they was serious back then about hall monitors. They were serious. Motherfuckers, school was so big, we're everywhere. Motherfuckers just doing shit. But he was one of my guys. He would rather me smoke weed in his car than smoke weed in the bathroom. In his car, shit, he can say he was smoking. I like that kind of thinking.
But being young was fun. Mm. You ever had knife hits? Oh yeah, I've stabbed people with knives. That's the best way to fight, is knife fighting. Yeah, you can get good hits. You can make motherfuckers leave you alone. That's why I was telling the story the other day. They show a lottery winner and two dudes attack him. I mean, damn, you could have fought them off with a knife easy. Like, it didn't appear like either one had a gun. You can keep people from grabbing you when you got a fucking knife. Yeah. And knife, you taught to cut, as soon as you put it out, you taught to cut twice. Every motion there. You cutting somebody when you go in, and you taught to cut when you come out. You cut somebody twice. So ain't nobody gonna grab me. A dude told me in the 90s he took some acid and was seeing gargoyles on the power lines. Oh yeah. I told y'all, man. I told y'all Dennis was behind me. And Dennis, we had to like slam him down and hold him until they fucking came and got the straitjacket because he went crazy. He was kicking and shit. And I mean, we had to like literally tackle him in the class. But he told me, I saw him later, and Dennis said he saw my head. He sat right behind me. He said he saw my head blow up like a balloon. He said 1 minute he was sitting there and I was talking shit to him because he said he liked when I was talking shit to him because, he wasn't tripping. But he said as soon as, I quit talking shit to him, I turned around. He's looking at the back of my head, and he said my head just started blowing up. And he said before he knew it, my head blew off my shoulders. He was looking at me, staring at me, and he said he knew I died, so he screamed. He started screaming shit because he saw my head blow off my shoulders. So we had to tackle it because he was fucking kicking me, and I was like, oh hell no, we had to end up tackling him, screaming and shit. They came and got him, put him in the straitjacket. I don't know, it's not the straitjacket, but they had to band him into bed. Yeah, they had to put him, when they put him in the stretcher, they had to strap his ass down. He was screaming and shit, going crazy. We had to hold him down in class. It wasn't too hard. But that's what he said. I ain't never had nothing like that happen. Whatever them witches gave me was the most trippest shit I've ever had, Now, like smoke dope through a hot knife? What? Oh no, I haven't never done that. I never like smoked dope through a hot knife. No, I don't really like them. I ain't never did like that. And then smoke dope off of it. You put the knife on the stove till it turns red, then smoke dope off of it. No, I ain't never did that. Bug for that. We used to do hash, like you would get a little, like a not a gram, but you cut a piece of hash off and you would light it, and you would put the hash under a glass and let the glass fill up with smoke and just do the side of it. You'd like put it on the pin. So you'd light the hash and none of the hash would escape. We used to smoke hash like that. Don't hardly see hash. Oh yeah, he tripped out. Dennis. That was Dennis. Dennis tripped out behind me. But it was funny. He's like, yeah, you talking shit to me. That was okay. But he said, as soon as I turned my head, so he saw my head blow off my shoulders. Like, what? Head blow off my shoulders. But he's like, wow, going crazy. Yeah. So that was the worst, I guess, of it. Motherfuckers tripping. But watching people on crack was really funny. Motherfuckers on crack would get paranoid. People on crack should be like house inspectors. People who smoke crack should be house inspectors because they will inspect the shit out your house. Matter of fact, that may be the next people I get from house inspectors, because you get people on crack, they will inspect every inch of your house. Back in the 90s and the 2000s, that's who I used to hire for house inspectors. You get them high in the house, they ain't going to miss an inch in the house. They going to point out all the shit, because when they get paranoid, they see everything in the house. So that's the best for those of you that want your home inspected and want thoroughly investigated. Let them smoke crack and let them go at it. And they will tell you every little corner, crease. They'll show you monsters behind your refrigerator, all that stuff. They will find it out for you. If you have some monster in the corner, they'll find that. They'll give you a list of where all the monsters are and what shape your house is in at the same time. So it's not a bad deal. So wanted to throw that out there. Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I gotta speak every inch and every item. Oh yeah. Crack people are the worst. They are home inspectors. Oh my goodness. I used to watch my ex-wife. She'd be like, look behind the fridge. Like, what part? Like, I looked on this side, ain't nothing right there, huh? Well, go look on the other side. I'm like, but you was like seeing something on this side, so why am I going over there? You ain't even been over there. I would just fuck with her. Like, why are you going over there? You ain't been on that side, so isn't it here? No, you need to go over there. Why are you whispering? Can it hear you or something? She'd start whispering, but all of them, they start whispering and shit. No, it's still there. How did it get from here to right there that quick? I mean, I looked on this side and I ran over to the other side and I looked on the other side. Ain't nothing back there but me looking. So it's quick like that. It gets away really fast. It's still there. How is it there? I just looked. Look again. Look again. I just looked. That was a funny shit to watch. Oh my goodness. That was funny shit to watch. Just to hear the home inspectors. Oh, and if you had a picture window, they're going to love being in your picture window for some reason. I don't know what was, but it was like windows and crackheads. Oh my goodness, they are in the windows. Some people would start looking behind the fridge. Others would go right to the windows. Like they would sit down in the house and be cool and never think about the windows. They would smoke crack. The minute they smoke crack, they would run to the windows. And they be in the window like this and shit, barely putting the window down and, like trying to look out the curtain where nobody sees them, but they eye out the curtain. Like, look at them like, what are you looking for? It's like, is the pizza coming or something? What are you looking for? It's something out there. Really? Is it coming to get us? Like, do I need to be scared too? Because I'll start looking with you if it's something I can see. So, home inspectors, go get one of them. They will do all you need. What time is it? Because I can't go. Okay, I'm going to make $2. I'm going to make 2 hours. I'm sorry I didn't come on again last night. I might have to cut the show back to 4 days a week.
because I kind of exhausted myself. So, like Form Runner says, we all do need to get sleep, and I a lot of nights don't get a lot of sleep. Doing this and working Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I do put myself out there a little bit, but I do get to sleep kind of late. So I'm going to go about 6 more minutes, and then I'm going to call it. And I don't know, I don't know if Crackhead Follies would be funny, if that would be funny. How people used to act in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s. So it really started in the 80s. It probably would have been fun to smoke freebase with Richard Pryor. He was probably still talking shit while, he was getting high. Oh, I needed that burp. I was just about to say, I don't have my Tums. So the burping was the next best thing. But I hope I just say some funny things on human behavior. That's all. There's no one person I picked on. It's just human behavior during a skill, or during a time of collapse, of humanity in some ways. Because some of these things I know I joke about is like people would let their children go hungry over this, and even them going hungry, and just being more and more desperate. Chasing something that could never be obtained. Escaping from something that you ain't really escaping. Escaping, you're supposed to be
Invisible. Seeing a crackhead in the 80s can't be any funnier than seeing a perked out zombie nowadays, smoking pressed perks, falling asleep, and standing out drooling like a zombie. No. You can balance a marshmallow on their nose just standing there till they sleep. No.
Let me tell you, crackheads had supernatural strength. I watched a crackhead steal a brand new refrigerator, and it was a pretty goddamn new refrigerator. It took 2 men to do that weight thing. You know how you could get the strap and hold the fridge? Yeah, the crackhead found a way to strap it to his body, and he took off with the fridge, So I don't know about that. Crackheads seem to have a little bit of supernatural strength. They will leap tall cars to get a rock, to steal something to get them some income. So yeah. Crackheads had strength. No, I'll call crap cap on that one. They had strength. They wasn't gonna sit there. Crackheads can't really sit there other than when they smoking. Once they get done smoking, they're up and about. Again, they're inspecting. I don't know what they're looking for, but you let them go on their merry way. The heroin, they might sit there and take a shot and be like, oh, start doing like this, getting comfortable and shit, ready for that good dream. But not a crackhead. A crackhead is the opposite. They're gonna, whoa, that wall over there does not look like it's flat, and they would have to inspect it. I mean, then they would see something else and going, that's crackhead behavior. So no, zombies ain't doing work. Crackheads like to work. That's what you guys got to understand. See, I opened up a factory full of crackheads. We were very productive. I let them smoke crack whenever they felt the need to be productive. They could go offline and smoke crack. See, that's the only way. That's the only way you could be productive. So they had crack breaks, So I had a very good business at that time because I knew how to cater to my people that I worked for. I knew how to get the best out of them. I don't have any. I don't segregate because they're addicts. I say an addict should work, and the kind of things I needed done, the crackheads would do. Crackhead is a great person to patrol your property. The only problem is you need to be richer than somebody that could give them more or a bigger rock at the time. That's the only problem of them being patrollers. But patrolling the inside is better where they can't have that opportunity. You see, that's why they're good patrollers in your house. You get the people that will look out the windows. You know, they'll get high and just go look out every window in your place. You got a big place, they'll come look out every window. I mean, they'll be really quick about it. You know, you could give them like 4 rocks an hour to get them to look out if you had a lot of windows. See, you guys, I'm very observant. That's why I say, you know, the people that run the casinos should let people smoke meth somewhere around the casino, somewhere. And then they just want to gamble. I'm going to bring my friend on and he will tell you why he smokes meth. He wants to be able to stay up long as possible to run the slot machines. Do you understand? Because he thinks that the more of certain slot machines on a given day, when the sun and the moon are opposite and Mars and Venus don't like each other on those type of days, he thinks he'll win. So he needs to stay up. So he needs more crack. But they won't let him smoke crack in the rooms. He look real suspicious if he gets in his car and, you know, gets real low. You know how you can get real low like they barely see you? That looks suspicious. So he has a problem. You know, he wants to stay up all night. And he knows that smoking crystal meth will help him stay up all night. I say let him smoke his crystal meth.
PJ said the greatest mechanics on the earth are planet. Oh, I told y'all about Mike.
And Mike just wanted to get one in his neck. Just let me put one in my neck before I get started. Just one in my neck. Here you go, Mike. Shit, that nigga would build damn near half a house. I told this story before. Mike built me doors they couldn't break in. Yeah. I put one of my doors in where it was a sliding reinforced door. It was sliding and it was reinforced. Yeah, they couldn't get in that door. They tried and they couldn't get in that door. Matter of fact, the one he put in my back was just a regular door. Yeah, they couldn't get in the doors. But that one in the front, yeah, they could never get in that door. And Mike put that shit in. He put in some other dudes where they never was able to get in the doors. They came in other ways to get in, but they couldn't get through the doors. Matter of fact, one time they was pounding on one of my doors at one of my spots, and I wasn't even in the house. I was somewhere watching them do that shit. And I was kind of laughing. I was like, they ain't gonna be able to. What they was doing? I'm like, they're gonna have to blow that shit up. Like, that's the only way they was gonna get in was to blow that shit up, and they never blew that shut. And they finally gave up, so they couldn't get in any door. It's kind of funny. And then the paper was fucked up, so I was like, yeah, you dumb motherfuckers wasn't supposed to be fucking that place in the first place. But that was Mike. I remember one of my houses, the water line went bad. So I picked him up and he asked me the same thing. I'm like, okay, how long is it going to take you? Sounds okay. Drop him off in the house. And, you know, of course, Mike was like, can I get one in my neck? And I'm like, okay, here you go. Let him loose in the house. Let him get high. And I don't think at that time was anybody living in the house. So, and came back, allowed a time, and Mike would fix the shit. Fixed it was a water pipe. We had to turn the water off. He had to cut the pipe out, solder the new pipe in. But Mike did it, you know. So I rewarded him before and rewarded him after. So, but the doors, shit, I'm telling you that them doors he put in, he had that's what gave me the idea because I saw him what he put in his house. Like he had one of the doors. I'm like, oh shit, you can put these in? He's like, yeah, you're my buddy. With Mr. Mike, I wish I could have it like where his neck opened up. Do a cartoon where his neck opened up. Like I need to hit like what is it called? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Planet. You know, with a dude the head come out the neck. That's when I see that make me think of Mike. Just need one in my neck. That's how he would say. He would always sing that part too. What in my neck? Why are you singing?
Oh, I bet if them houses are still there, I would bet anything.
If those houses that where we put them doors in are still there, them doors ain't been broken in. I would bet that.
I don't know if the houses they would knock the house down before them doors would give up.
Them doors didn't give up. That's how stupid when you see people trying to not break in your shit, and they can't even break in your shit. And you back there watching them try to break in your shit and knowing what they use and they can't break in. Like these some dumb motherfuckers that I should kill. You know, it's kind of how it makes you feel sometimes. I was trying to break in my shit.
Well, I went over 2 hours. I didn't even think about bringing up crackhead Mike. But yeah, Mike, despite all that, Mike was a master carpenter too. Mike could build damn near anything, but them doors, like he would put in the braces for like in the walls. He would brace that up more, and then all the braces on top, like where the doors slid, was all metal. So he would come in and put that metal piece in there where that door slid. So it was enforced by metal, like a metal plate indoors and outdoors. You'd put like all that right there would be metal. Then you put that enforced piece where that door went in, all that was metal. So the thing really bracing it here was all pretty much reinforced with metal. So that shit was good. That shit was good. It was good work. It was good work. Even my back door that he put in was good work. Good solid door. But that's like he jack of all trades, Wasn't too many things he couldn't really do. But that's what I missed when I lived here. I had mechanics like a motherfucker. I had mechanics, could do everything. I had a dude that could take your engine out. I had people that could paint your car. I had a dude that if you crashed your car into something, need your frame put straight, I had a dude that could do that. If your car was so fucked up and it fucked up your frame, I had a dude that could kind of get your frame back right. Yeah. All kind of shit. I mean, it wasn't just people, letting people drive their cars for crack. People were selling cars for crack. I would get throwaway cars. Shit, buy a car, for $300-$400. Drive it for a minute, ditch it. Used to always get that kind of thing going. It's funny, what I brought. I meant to bring my pendulums and forgot. But yeah, I'm probably going to get off now. Yeah, because I still got to get up fairly early. So, yeah. So everybody, as you disengage from me, and if you're working, definitely I hope work that goes safely. May your work be peaceful as my words end. May you be able to go home and find your house to be peaceful as well. And only use peace. I know that's only a part of, but that's all I'm saying is, in your reality of that part, I hope that part is peaceful for you. And those of you that are about to rest and go into what I call creation ball field to rest, where I think we all go. For some kind of way, they've connected us to screens that pop up when we dream. Because to say that, dreaming just comes from nothing, it's pretty simplistic. Where there's actually a source where all our dreams go into. So, and may you all learn how to protect yourself from that. Everything in your room should protect you. Pictures like these should work for you, should help your vibration. They should automatically feel that since you brought them around you, the colors you bring around, the fabrics, automatically they should all love you, help you. And so as ending, I do give the words of the time walkers. Mora, it all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homelands, but they knew that they would disappear off the face of the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. Despite that, they would build a civilization up to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the Great Serpent, which is our universe, the Milky Way. So once again, I'm bringing it to y'all from the mountain and from the chocolate mountain to all of y'all. I say, till we meet again, me and Shorty say, less.